This is Hinos the Sport, bringing you that heat and that fire. We keeping the foot on the what? On the next. We keeping the foot on the what? On the next. Now let's get on to it. Roy Jones Jr. versus Mike Tyson. I hear everybody talking about this as if this is a spectacle that is of epic proportions and epic magnitude. Let me say it again. As if this is a spectacle of epic proportions and epic magnitude. Here's the cold-hearted, the unadulterated, cutthroat fashion. Hinos the Sport already drummed the article about this. This is two elder statesmen that are now two geezers. Old variation of geezers. One is 54 and one is 51. Here, listen. I don't care if anybody gets offended by this video. I'm not here to tell you what you want to hear. I'm here to tell you what you need to hear. Let me say it again. I don't care if people get offended by this video. When has the ultimate truth teller, the cold-hearted, unadulterated, cutthroat variation of telling you guys these things in truth-telling fashion has ever give a flying you know what about what you guys have to think? I'm not telling you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear. Again, here's the cold-hearted, the unadulterated, the cutthroat, truth-telling fashion. You got two old geezers. One is 54, one is 51. Way past their prime. We saw this when Mike Tyson tried to come back. Way past his prime. It was a one-and-done dud. He was wearing a shirt, for goodness sakes. Roy Jones Jr., his last fight against Scott Sigmund in Pensacola, Florida, in front of his admiring and adoring fans. He was a freaking dud. It was a one lopsided fight, but could you imagine how far removed Roy Jones Jr. was? Roy Jones Jr. tells you he's 208 pounds and he's in shape, but he looks like a sloppy variation of 208 pounds. I should know this because I operate in the health and the fitness realm. His ass, although he's doing certain types of workouts and trainings, he's not working out the way that he used to. So don't get it twisted. We know the life of a boxer. And the way that Roy Jones Jr. looks like, he looks like more like an announcer. Let me say it again. We know the life of a boxer. And the way that Roy Jones Jr. looks like now, he looks more like an announcer. Here's the cold-hearted, the unadulterated, cutthroat, truth-telling fashion. If you guys are watching this fight just for namesake, okay. But this is a dud. There's too many young bullfighters out here. Too many lion variations out here that are giving you guys entertaining fights after entertaining fights after entertaining fights. Why do we need to see two old geezers go at it? Why does Hinos the Sport have to be the only one to roll out the red carpet of cold-hearted, unadulterated, cutthroat, truth-telling fashion? Everybody wants to always get on this pony bandwagon. See, this is the different separation and the variation of what I call pure beta supremes and a true alpha variation. Let me say it again. Pure beta supremes and a true alpha variation. Alphas, we don't follow, we lead. Let me say it again. Alphas, we don't follow, we lead. Betas, on the other hand, they always leading by status quo. You got too many channels out here. Too many people out here celebrating two old geezers going at it. What fun are we going to get from this? There's Spence and Crawford looming. Matter of fact, I don't know about that one. I may have to boycott it because Gary Russell Jr., 126-pounder, is allegedly saying he broke his jaw. So I'm going to have to boycott that. If Terrence Buck Crawford don't come out and like 4 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1 and debunk this allegation of a guy that's 4 weight classes lower than him, I don't know about that. We have Anthony Joshua. We have Tyson Fury. We have Deontay Wilder. We have these guys out here, man. We have fighters. The heavyweight division is the most exciting in the modern day era than it's been in a very long time. Why do we need two old geezers giving us a show? And see, this speaks to fight fans. This speaks to the boxing community. Because if we sit here and we put our dollars behind this and we galvanize behind this, this is going to tell us. And when I say us, I'm talking about in general, that we're a bunch of Rudy Poo and Plum Plum brains. Classic dolts and troglodytes. Ultra fanboy with the ultra fanboy rhetoric. I ain't talking about the real G's, the super real G's, and the ultimate real G's out here in these boxing streets. I'm talking about the Rudy Poo and the Plum Plum brains. I'm talking about the classic dolts and the troglodytes. I'm talking about the ultra fanboys with the ultra fanboy rhetoric. Here's the underlying truths and the undercurrent things here, man. We can't be getting behind two old geezers. 8 rounds, exhibition. Can they make it past 2 rounds? I'm just saying. These guys are well past their prime. Being in shape from a health and fitness standpoint is fundamentally and universally different from being in boxing shape. Those who are in the special fraternity of the square circle knows this to be true. That's just like when Michael Jordan was trying to come back and play for the Washington Wizards after he retired. He wasn't the same. And he was just a few years removed. We're talking about guys that are over a decade removed from when they were doing their thing. So who the heck wants to watch this, man? Why does Hino's Sport have to be the one to be the villain here? I don't know why. I mean, I don't mind being the villain. I don't mind being the polarizing figure. I don't mind stating the obvious. I don't mind stating the most common sense. You know, common sense is what I have in leagues and droves, but everyone don't have common sense. Let me say it again. Common sense is what I have in leagues and droves, but everyone doesn't have common sense. I realized that a long time ago. But I have to keep the foot on the what on the next. I have to keep the foot on the what on the next. This is a dud, y'all. This is not a watchable fight. Exhibition or not. The Mikey Garcia and the Eric Morales fight is a better exhibition than this. And see, I don't mean to be disrespectful, but I have to be disrespectful. Let me say it again. I don't mean to be disrespectful, but I have to be disrespectful. You guys have to ask yourself these underlying questions. When we have Teofimo Lopez versus Vasily Lomachenko, we have Earl Spence versus Danny Garcia, we have Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury. Who the heck is getting behind Roy Jones Jr. versus Mike Tyson? Unless you're a reverse bias, aka detractor, aka panderer, I can't see why. Once again, recap. Two old geezers going at it. Why is this prevalent? Why is this reminiscent? Two guys that are well past their glory days. They don't know how to leave the gloves alone, and they're going to give you guys a dud of a show. And if you are truly fight fans, you're going to call their ass out on this because we already have enough exciting fighters as it is that's giving us what we need. I keeps the foot on the what on the next. I keeps the foot on the what on the next. This is Hino's Sport. Checking out.